What up, what up, what up, everybody? We out here rocking with the Dungeon Oasis again. My hat's kind of crooked. That's all right. How's it going? We're doing good. We're gonna go ahead and get this started. That lady she just brought up, that's Kyra. She's a bard we met last time. Told us a little bit about the world. We don't really know where we are. So we came from a palace of 1,001 rooms, and now we left the palace and have no idea where we are. So let's dive in.
It only it's up for like, I don't know, is it 24 hours or something like that?
It's all
And if
right.
nobody else posts anything, it'll go away.
I am the master of the Discord and I can unarchive it.
But I think you still you
sauce.
should be able to still see it.
How do I
Right.
do that?
I'm not sure because
Just
I've
for
never
future
tried.
reference, in case it happens on one of the other ones.
Let me figure it out real quick and I'll let you know.
Hells
Yeah. Yeah, so last time you didn't really go anywhere else, really, but you talked to this young woman called Kyra and told her that you would meet in front of this tavern the next day, pretty much. And then you also watched her play some games for a little bit, but yeah, you all would have gotten your long rest. And yeah, so you kind of, wake up in your room, probably, kind of early. So yeah, what would you like to do? Is there anything but meeting her in front, probably at some point, that you would like to do?
Balmetria, is that the name of the silver dragon? Sorry, making sure my notes were correct before I added to them.
From what you heard, I think it would be, you probably would know exactly, right?
Yeah, because you mentioned a grand silver dragon.
Yeah, exactly. So you would remember the Balmetria was the silver dragon that she mentioned. You did hear a lot of, story from her. Like she told you one of her stories that you would guess she probably tells people. That's one of them.
Oh, I had that name completely wrong in my notes. Okay, that was it. Sorry about that.
At least you took notes,
Doug. All right.
Somebody's got to. I guess it'll be the nerd.
Trying to find the best way to position squigs on my arm to be sneaky. Actually, no, I kind of want to. If she said that dragons get a really positive review, I might just, test the waters. I'll just be like, tell them to sit on my shoulder.
All right.
I just like pretending I have
totally up to you.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he's gonna be sitting on my shoulder.
Sorry.
All right, cool. Any other preparations or anything you would like to do before you go and meet her?
Desk is.
Or do you want to talk about anything, or anything other than that? Otherwise, we'll just cut to kind of in front of the tavern, I guess, and
I guess
see where it goes.
I guess there probably would have been hours of conversation at some point of like, what do we tried to accomplish, like as a group? I feel like we could kind of just metagame that out of character.
Yeah.
What did we decide as a group was like, are we going to try to go with this Dragon Lords thing? Do we want to try to figure out a way to like bridge the two worlds? I think we talked about that. Me and Dottie had at one point. Like trying to get both the Fae and the regular people maybe to get on board with the same stuff.
Like instead of taking a side, making our own side and just like trying to bring everybody together.
Yeah. So typical, you get choice A and B and you take C. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Solomon
mean,
just like us.
nodding the entire time, but he clearly doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So. He just keeps looking at, like, he looks over and goes like, yes.
What do you think, Solomon?
Sorry, what was it?
just gonna spread the word of the creator wherever we go.
What did you ask?
Okay.
What? Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay, so Sherwin's on like a holy crusade.
I also agree with Solomon.
I say that actually worked really well too for
what's
like
that now?
creating our own side. Is like we have a god.
We have our
has
own
proven
organized religion.
Useful. We have an organized religion. We have a dragon, like an actual living dragon that is working with us. And I'm assuming that you're pretty charismatic with your character class. If not, then we'll fucking figure it out. We'll just.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for noticing.
I was gonna say you'll just have to pantomime your way to victory.
Oh no, it's actually interpreted.
Be super lovable.
Great at pantomime, yeah.
Actually, a very smooth motion of dancing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's gonna be an interesting road, but I like the idea that we're going with right now with the whole like we can create our own. I like the idea of creating our own avenue, at least until we learn more about one side and the other. Because right now we just have the words of a bard, and we literally know nothing else about this world other than some history that we've been told in story form, which everybody knows how the game telephone works. So like,
I think, I mean, if that's the case, I think we really need to figure out a way to contact Lutheria.
Oh, I love the game of Mellophone. It's very fun.
That's the other side, right?
Lutheria was one of the Titans, but she was fascinated by the people that showed up, and she kind of liked the people and the Dragon Lords. So if it was going to be somebody that we could communicate with, we need to try to find the dragons and try to find Lutheria, and then see if we could build an alliance.
Shit, I was about to say if we can get her on our side, then we could really start making real moves. Because then we would have a dragon and a Titan working together. Because that's like looking at it from the view of the people's eyes. Like they're used to seeing either dragons or Titans and having to choose between
That's true.
the two.
But if the Dragon Lords, if the Dragon Lords of old show up from nowhere and just start like decimating our Titan, then we probably should make sure we get them on board too.
Yeah, of course. But like we don't know if they're even alive or anything, so we'll have to find more information on them.
Yeah, so we need to find out where Lutheria is so that we can figure out how to contact her, and then we need to figure out where we can go to contact the dragons. Which do we want to do first?
I think we know where Lutheria is, or not. Like we know Lutheria is alive somewhere. We don't know if the dragons are alive somewhere, so I think we should start with her.
I just want to go where the adventure is.
You shifted from very, very practical, let's find a map, to very, very grand plans, which I really like.
Well, yeah, I mean, we still need to find a map. That was just step one. We still have not completed step one.
we got to save the world, you know.
Of course, we got to save the world.
Yeah, I mean,
we kind of live here now, and I don't know how to get back to my world. So if this world ends, that's toast.
Also,
and I like maps because they're kind of like picture
medieval
books.
shit is ridiculous.
Oh, I really like the color in the picture books. Keeps my dexterity strong.
Oh man, I wish Solomon had fucking crayons. Ew.
With my -1 as I tremble and shake.
I think my biggest worry about meeting Lutheria first is that.
Thank you for the follow.
What if we are smoked before she even knows who we are? Right.
Appreciate you.
Whereas with the Dragon Lords, you having connection with the dragons does at least give us an inlet into starting a conversation before we get eaten or crushed.
I will say,
I'm trying to figure out where we're going and what
Esther
we're doing
wants
right now.
to see the dragons as soon as possible. Like,
so that's kind of where I'm leaning to. Like, it might be better to find the dragons first, just because your baby dragon at least will be able to introduce us, and I'll point toward.
I go on the dragon.
I can also
like dragons also.
That's true. Solomon is a paladin of a dragon god, so.
I don't like to say this out loud very often, but sometimes I wonder if my god Bahamut was named after a laughing dog.
Thank you.
Wow.
Bahamut.
Wow.
Brunch.
I think that might be sinning. I don't know.
Bahamut.
And he's very confused why you guys are all laughing. He's like, what? Like looking around like, what? No.
I bet he was made
You know
by the
what?
creator.
You know what, Solomon? I think you might be right. He's probably named after a laughing dog. He's probably.
I like dogs
Tell
too.
that
They're
to
kind of like
everybody.
dragons without wings and with fur. They're kind of like little ground dragons. I'm sorry, what were we doing?
Let's see. First, we're
Oh,
gonna find a
also,
map.
yeah, you
then
never-
we
we're
were
gonna
we were
discover
looking
dragon.
for a coloring book, I think.
You never heard what Squigs looks like, did you? He's like he's furry, he's like a cat and a dragon mixed together.
Oh hell yeah! He's like a
Remember that.
little dragon guy, but I mean that's fucking sick.
Yep. All right, so that's kind of what you discussed
today,
in the evening, and all this time you spent, still got some sleep.
Hey, what up? What up? Thanks
And,
for watching, hanging
Yeah,
out.
if you
We're
go
playing some D&D.
out the front door for this dragon experiment, there's not really anybody around the tavern when you leave. But like the innkeeper, this pretty burly woman just kind of waves at you, looks a little bit surprised at like there's another something on your shoulder, but it's not terribly,
I don't
she's not
think-
alarmed.
I don't think we paid for a pet room there, Esther.
Yeah, that might be a thing. You could possibly infer that she's just more thinking about that side because you did pay for the goat. But then also you did pay for the goat at least.
Like we
So
paid
that's
for a
the
room.
thing.
It doesn't matter what we put in that room.
Yeah, that's unless she likes to, take rent per person pretty much, or per pet. in that
Okay,
case.
It's not our fault we
There's
don't know
there's
how
a
this world
possibility
works.
of her having another. Yeah, it could be.
No,
I
yeah.
mean-
If I see her looking at me kind of like weird, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I apologize, miss. I didn't know if I had to pay for the dragon companion or not. It was just do you need a little bit extra on top of that for him?
He
or-
appeared to us in the night like a shining star.
We can always trade the goat. You could trade the goat for the extra fee. I'm just saying.
Tom Serena Brady Williams is going nowhere but with us.
The full name, dude. He dropped the full name.
She probably looks even more confused at the mention of that name if you say it out loud.
100%.
Or just sighs loudly and just turns to walk off while this tomfoolery happens.
And she'll just say, "Oh, it's fine. Just have a nice day. I hope to see you again." And
I hope
just
to see you
turns
too.
back to actually like tidying up, washing some dishes, these
Wait,
kinds
so-
of things.
Are we leaving? We're leaving the inn right now.
Yeah.
You
I
would
like to
be
do-
leaving at some
I like to do the
yeah.
classic Dwayne the Rock Johnson fucking eyebrow raise. This is one of my favorite things in the game. Before we leave, as we're walking out, I want to
Yeah.
like raise an eyebrow and look back in the room and see if anybody's watching us.
Okay. There is currently like, if you make make a perception check.
Yeah.
The creator's always watching us, Solomon. It's okay. She's got
Yeah.
our back.
Great at perception checks.
Oh, I forgot how to do
Hmm.
this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, do this one.
First roll of the day.
-1. Let's go.
Yeah.
4.
Yes.
Four.
Oh,
So you
love it.
heroically and with all your coolness look into
The
the
Goliath.
room.
The Dwayne the
Uh,
Rock Johnson eyebrow raised, looking around, scanning,
Yes.
scanning.
You really do
Nothing.
try very, very hard. You don't see anybody.
You, like,
the
look
It
back
person
and-
has turned
so
their back.
efficient though.
You catch Sherwin right in the eyes, like I'm just right behind you as you turn around.
He even does the weird
Yeah.
smell thing that The Rock does, where he's like, and, like looks around, thinks he knows what the fuck is up, but not at all.
Yeah.
Quigs is staring at you really suspiciously.
All right, and then I leave,
Oi,
and I
guys.
duck out the door. You know what I mean?
He's just, oh guys, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that table is
Yeah.
following us.
Everybody's watching us in there. Do you see that?
To be
They were
very
all, like,
honest,
really,
you probably wouldn't even notice.
they were all really confused why I was smelling so hard. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're just confused because you're big.
Oh, that must be it. All right.
They looked at me funny because of my shell. And maybe my wife's shell, too.
Hey, look at me there, bud. You got a beautiful shell there.
Well, thanks.
They're just admiring.
I really like your head.
Whoa. I'm sorry, that was just very unexpected. I've never had somebody compliment my head before, but I thank you.
I said the same thing.
You got a good.
Compliment my hand.
You got a good.
No, I think you complimented his elbows.
You got
That's
a good,
right.
strong neck.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I love my head. I think I'll keep it.
Yeah, I bet you're attached to it, aren't you?
Wow.
I can't figure out if we're the best or the worst.
Soren just realized that
I'm
he's
still trying to figure that out as well. Yeah.
Soren's on an adventure with a guy with dad jokes and his special little boy.
Dude, and you know I'm just pumping it up. Like when Sherwin cranks those out, I'm just like fucking fist pumping, just like, oh yeah, that's a good one, yeah, oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. That
This
sounds
is the
about
best
right.
party of all time.
A son and his special little boy wearing his little sailor suit.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, the visual. Yeah.
You can't help the mental image.
Yeah.
After a heroic look back, you actually duck out the door. And you'll have to, look around for a little bit. I mean, there's a clearing, and then the forest starts, and you don't immediately see Kyra anywhere. Just
I'm gonna head over
everybody
and
make a perception check. I guess we can totally take Solomon's unless you want to re-roll. But
yeah.
I
Oh
would,
yeah.
I would
yeah, I
totally
would like to,
see that this would stand.
I would like
Can
to
I
look
get
at the
advantage for
forest
Squigs?
and try to
Squeaks looks too, show.
try
Yeah.
to imitate Solomon's look back. I want to look towards the forest.
Nice.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and do a big sniff.
Okay.
I feel like you put
Those
both
squeaks.
eyebrows up though. You just look
Yeah.
crazy as fuck.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
do
it
the
is.
rock eyebrow.
It
Looks
was really good.
surprised.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I rolled an 8. Yeah, I'm turning
it's
it off.
2 plus 6, so that's even better to say it
It's
like
hard
that.
because you gotta focus
I mean,
on
8
the
doesn't sound
form.
as
You
bad.
know, it's
Yeah.
distracting. It's distracting when you
So
shouldn't be
Sherwin
distracted.
is-
It's distracting.
Exactly. He's just distracted by trying to look at least as cool as Solomon just did. Quix is the one who notices her first. She's actually kind of to the side by the goat pen and just kind of, like tickles some of the goats' snouts a little bit and could just give them some scratches, stuff like that. Just kind of, saying hi to the goats as much as like it seems. She's
Diddling. She's
knelt
diddling the
down and
goats.
she's a bit harder to see. Like she actually kind of, there's some of the fencing in front of her, and she's not a very tall or broad person at all. So,
Squigs grabs my whiskers,
Soren and
right.
Solomon still do see her, but Squix is definitely the first one to look, and Esther will then know where to look to. Sherwin's taking, like, you'll just follow the others and then see her. But yeah, she's definitely just kneeling there and, saying hi to a bunch of goats.
I'm saying, I see you met Tom, Serena, Brady Williams.
What?
Oh, that's that one there. You're scratching.
It's a demon, I tell you. A true piece of work.
Let me write down that name. I might not remember. Can you, like, how do you write that? That's an unusual name.
Tom, Serena, and Brady Williams.
She writes it, and you tell her.
It's pronounced goat
okay,
in
you say
Infernal.
that afterwards, but she starts writing, and she just writes it all in one word. Like, she starts, and at least the 2 first ones are now one word.
It's Tom hyphen Serena space Brady hyphen Williams.
Don't forget the surname Michael Jordan.
Oh, you're right. His middle name is Michael Jordan, so it's Tom hyphen Serena space Michael, space, Jordan, space.
You laugh. No, I have a relative that is
Scribbled
named John.
down.
I have a relative that is named John Elway Ripken Burke. And they came up with a name exactly like you guys are coming up with this fucking goat name.
That's
Oh
hilarious.
my god.
Like, I swear to God, it was the most redneck thing ever. Sorry, I couldn't. Like, I'm cracking up over here with you guys naming this goat. Sorry.
It's great. Yeah, I mean,
Tom,
it's perfect.
happy.
Kyra
Sabrina,
does like
space.
she starts almost sweating when you do this. Like she's
The
this is-
hyphens are
she
silent.
concentrates hard.
You could just call him Tom Brady. It's all right.
You know, Solomon's an idiot, but he's like, don't forget the zip code 1223.
Don't put that.
She
in there.
just tries to write all the stuff down that you know kind of dictate to her.
12 in the front, 23 in the back.
God, I wish I knew like the best fucking like bobsledder ever, because I'd slam that name in there too.
Yeah.
Cinca.
Gotta get Gretzky in there somehow.
Right?
Oh, this
You
goat.
will, Brenna.
So is this goat special in any way? It seems like there seems to be a lot of story just behind this name. I mean,
Oh, he's special,
tell
all right.
me.
She managed to make it all the way through. Well, I like kind of look at everybody, and be like, "Are we talking about the castle?"
Oh, that castle had a really nice bed in it.
It really did. All right, so we was in this magical castle, teleporting rooms all over the place, and we eventually found this tunnel, and we went into it, and we was in there for like, I don't know, 3 months, something like that. And the whole time, Tom Serena Brady Williams was with us after we found her, and we drank her milk, and she was born apparently and doesn't remember their entire life, until eventually she was just walking through this cave. Then we ran into her, and I had to convince her to turn around and go with us the other way. Haven't talked to her really since, but she seems all right.
That sounds amazing. I mean, you know what? I'm going to follow you anyway, but I think we would need to, get into some more detail in the story.
She's a goat.
Yes.
Oh, time is the
yes.
best thing to tell most stories, yes?
Well, we can absolutely try to talk to the goat as well, of course. I mean, she probably has a perspective as well. So yeah, just let me write down all that as well. It sounds just. I mean, I always thought that our myths were, the most outlandish thing ever, but this sounds.
Well, I mean, if
pretty
you want to
much
ask her any
on
questions, I
par.
can translate for you right now. You can ask all the goat stuff too for a little bit.
Yeah, she'll she's a little bit like she wants to just go into that because all of that sounded very interesting. But then there's also this kind of a little bit of but we should maybe get going because it's morning now, and if we just delay too much, then it's going to be a difficult time getting back to anywhere more safe by the nightfall. So let's maybe just walk and exchange some stories, I guess.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, who's taking Tom Serena Brady Williams?
Hold it. And I like walk up, put a hand on the ground, and she like climbs up my arm like a little mountain goat and like kind of perches on my shoulder. And
hell yes.
Okay, that would be something that she prefers to being, tucked by the neckband or by the rope.
But she does weird stuff where she stands on my collarbone like it's a sheer cliff and just like, you know what I mean? Like she can just walk around me like it's no big deal.
Hey.
Yeah.
Living
Just
Let's
a little
Die.
bit
Thank
too.
you
Just
for
keep
the
going.
raid.
It's a small goat. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Sherwin,
So-
did your god accept animal sacrifices?
Oh, no, my God created all of it, and all of it. We don't sacrifice things around.
Just feels like a missed
around here.
opportunity.
Well, I'm gonna have to politely decline.
You better keep your eyes off of the goat like that.
Even
Yeah, Tom Brady's nibbling my ear. I'm like, I'm sorry,
even
what?
devil goats.
First time we meet a dragon, I'm feeding that goat to the dragon.
I'm sorry. What? Nay,
Met
shh, I
dragons.
cover her ears. I cover her ears. Oh.
I mean, she just
Goddamn it,
stands there.
Swan.
Meh.
All
Just-
right, so, madam,
Yes.
we need to get to a library so we can get maps. And then, do you have an inkling on how we may be able to find these lost dragon lords?
Oh,
We're currently looking for
well,
some
maybe we should
lost
start
dragons.
more
came
at the
from this-
beginning, I would say.
We came
You
from
see,
a palace,
there's,
magical
I had
palace,
this
bunch of rooms,
idea
portals.
to come here
We don't-
and,
We don't
look
really
for
know where we are
some
now.
new people, I guess.
But hello,
Partly
everyone.
because
Thanks for tuning in.
the
We
people
appreciate
here
you.
also need a little bit of help. It's not
Drop us a
exactly a
like, help us to-
dragon that's
Help us to get our
menacing them, but
follow. Help us to get to 80.
some of
We
the
appreciate you.
orchards and
Or don't. That's fine.
wineries
Can't
and
tell
all
you what to
these
do.
little settlements around here have been having a lot of trouble with a great huge boar.
Oh boy, I really
They-
like bacon. I will eat some bacon. I tell you what.
I do.
Wide
I
in
do.
on
I
Solomon.
like this.
It's very wild, and some of the soldiers try to obviously go against it, but some of them did come back, but they were defeated. So some fled, but none of the others that we know they lost a few of their ranks.
Now, miss, when you say defeated, you mean like they were all the way dead?
Yes. I mean, there's.
Oh, that's bad,
there's
guys.
no
All the
way.
way dead.
This is a big piece of bacon. Big old high
And
bones.
meanwhile,
The
like,
goat.
he's like
mid
looking at the
conversation-
ground. He's like looking at it. He's like, he goes, "All right, so how big is the roasting pit gonna have to be? Are you thinking?"
Dude, the goat
10
slips
feet.
and eats shit off of Solomon because he's just drooling.
Yeah.
He's like, oh
Absolutely.
shit. Just grabs it, puts it back on his shoulder. He's like, sorry, man.
Yeah. Well, if you would be able to help us get rid of that one, I think that would be a very, very good sign for all of us, because we're kind of hoping that there would be another great group of adventurers that would actually help us with these things. But I'm a poet. I always look for those people that are special in some way and try to tell their stories. I'm not sure how big the boar is. I haven't actually tried to, see it myself. I would assume it's quite big. I mean, the tails usually grow bigger with every telling. I've heard anything from, huge boulder size to pretty much size of a house. So anywhere between, I mean, it's probably bigger than a normal boar, maybe, because it's been killing a lot of people.
House-sized piggy. I read a book about that once.
I read a book about
Well,
that too.
If we're gonna head out into the
Kid
out of
story,
town, if we're gonna head out of town, then we should probably pick up some rations in case we don't make it back in time to get some dinner.
Yep. Yeah.
I also need some rope. I don't have any rope.
I think, I mean, I'm sure they do have, some things in the tavern. I wouldn't be entirely sure if Atala also has some rope, but maybe.
I have
Rations, I'm
three.
sure
I
she
just
still has
I
some food.
toss him 50 feet of silken rope, or
Oh,
50
perfect.
feet of hemp rope.
I have.
Perfect.
I have my good rope.
I have
I have a spell that'll work.
I have
That'll
three-
work just perfectly.
I have 3 rations. Should I not have those from our journey?
I'm pretty sure we don't have any rations.
You
Yeah, we're
probably
cleaned out.
don't have any rations anymore, yeah.
Gotcha. I need to get rid of mine too.
The only
so
one who
how much do you
actually,
think we
like,
could buy?
well, if you go back and ask the innkeeper, she'll be a little bit surprised at you coming back in just
Yeah, I'll
minutes
just
after
stroll back
leaving,
in.
pretty much.
But all right, I got a couple questions. We need some
Oh,
rations. We're gonna take a trip.
oh,
Um,
sure.
and
Yeah.
also, how prepared are you to cook a giant boar?
Yeah, we're going
What
to catch your mom.
are you going to go for that boar?
Well, that's the plan. Anyway. We was just trying to figure out how large it is, and I'm also trying to just to ignore my friend for a second.
You're so nice to a goat, but you're so mean to this lady. Like I don't.
No,
get
being
it,
big is
Solomon.
beautiful. Beautiful being big. It's a compliment.
She just pretty much looks at all the others and is kind of already kind of thinking pretty hard about how big that boar would be. Well, I'm interested myself. I used to go hunt as well, but I've only heard stories of this one. I'm sticking to the tavern now. It's always a little bit hard to judge with those stories coming back. You know how it goes. Fishermen brag about their fish,
Oh, of
hunters
course, of
hunt
course.
things that
Well, if
usually
you
are
could
like twice the size. Um,
get a spit started while he's gone, and we'll be sure to bring back some more for your tavern. You can keep
you
anything we
know
don't.
what? I think you might be just a little bit too confident in your abilities right now. I haven't actually seen you do anything, and
Exactly.
with respect, you don't look like a hunter, really.
Solomon doesn't know what confident means, so he's just nodding.
That is
He's like,
hilarious. All the people that she said doesn't look like a hunter
Yeah.
is the ranger.
Yeah.
"Yeah."
She does not think you do, though. Like, this is
That's hey man,
prove
looks
yourself
can be
first,
deceiving.
maybe, and we'll see. I mean, I'm always up for a surprise, and I'm sure to go back and see what I can muster here.
All right. So when we get back with this boar, you gonna be able to cook it up for us?
If you bring it back, I'm sure we can do something.
And
It's not like I usually. It depends very much on what size this thing is, really, because I'm not going to
it's
destroy my
massive. It's
kitchen,
over
but we
entire
can
goat.
put it somewhere outside and maybe do something. I'm sure we can find a place. Might have to be a little bit further off so we don't burn any of the forest down. But other than that, I know my way around here. We'll find a good area with some water next to it, so it should be fine.
Oh, my mouth's
Wonderful.
watering already.
That's gonna be wonderful. I can't wait to be back then. So Miss, could you spare some rations for our trip?
Sure,
Oh,
rations.
I'll buy because I feel like I actually probably ate a lot of the rations when we were in that cave, so I'll definitely buy. I have 10 gold, so I'll throw down and
Yeah.
buy the party their food. I feel like I definitely owe.
For how long do you expect to be off? What do you want? At the
All
most
then.
right
Well, Missy,
now.
how long you think we're gonna be gone?
Well, we could forage for food as well, you know. I mean,
Well,
I'm
of
not.
course, we just need some emergency rations.
I'd rather,
Yeah.
I'd rather be a little bit more, careful on this and get more than we need.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Especially because we
personally.
don't know the food in this area either.
No, we're
She
yeah.
eyes
it's new
you a
for us.
little bit, and you see, the problem is I don't have that much food prepared right now. But with all the leftover meats, it would have to be some goat. I know you didn't actually order any last night.
Oh, well, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go forage.
Yeah.
Do you have any
How much
maybe
can you do
cheese
without
or
any goat?
We do still have some cheeses, yeah.
do you have some hard cheeses? Maybe some some dried
cheeses and
bread,
some dried
old bread?
fruit. Yes, we do have all of that as well. I think if I put it together, what I have left right now that is prepared would maybe, for all of you, it should, like, let's maybe not quite 3 days of rations. I think if I give you everything we have prepared, you'll be good for 2.5 days, let's say.
That's without the goat, right?
Yeah. No, that's with the goats. That's
What
goat
about
meat as well.
without the goat?
Without the goat, well, You
I
might
mean, as you can
you
tell, we
might
already
be
have
able
our
to
own goat.
stretch it to that's true. Uh well, it's good for a day, probably. There's not that much bread left, so
To be
If we
honest,
can make that
ma'am,
work, guys, I can get some hunting in.
I'm plump jolly sick of eating goat, so I'll take whatever we can get that's not that, and we'll let's skedaddle.
I was gonna say,
Oh, okay.
whatever ain't goat, we'll take it.
all right
I mean,
then.
when we get to town, we could trade the goat for a nice haunch of beef.
Or we could just hunt,
I think
because
we're
that
gonna.
is what I'm good at.
I think we're gonna kill the
She
biggie.
keeps eyeing you when you say that because she herself is a pretty like broad-shouldered person and looks like
You keep eyeballing me.
might
You
have
want to
been,
duel or
like,
something?
bow hunting might not be the thing she ever did or ever like she does not look anywhere close to your kind of hunting. So that's probably where she's coming from when she thinks that you're not a hunter.
She's out there spear hunting.
I'm
boar and
actively
stuff.
have like a
The
bow
beast.
across my back,
Yeah.
multiple swords on my side, like a
Well,
whip.
you know.
She's actually a bounty hunter.
She's out there like boar hunting with a spear and looking down on you,
Yeah.
like
That
very
is
quaint, very
probably
quaint.
what she looks like she's more of the type that actually like goes in there and grapples the thing somehow and then just spears it or something.
Boar spear in hand, axe in her
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
I mean, she's
but-
really she's now a little bit older, but she definitely looks like she used to be very, very physical. So that might be what she means.
I'm liking this lady more and more every time.
But
Yeah, I really like her, but I really like Esther. Kind of wants to fight her right now.
Esther is probably a bit pissed at her being so.
Yeah, he's a bit peeved. Like he's very confident in his abilities, and she just keeps looking down on him. Like
she doesn't really like. Sure.
Especially feeling himself like really hard right now because he just finally got to like where he wanted to be at. Like he finally like earned the trust of the dragons to get his own dragon companion and stuff. He's just like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's this kind of you can sometimes get this look, and it's probably what winds you up so much of her kind of cute little guy. It's cute. Yeah, think you're a hunter. That kind of thing probably gets you more than anything.
Yes, it's okay. She just doesn't think that we can catch and kill her mom.
It's a fucking boar. I just don't understand what the problem is here. We killed a dragon already. You think this boar is going to be a problem? I don't understand it.
If this turns out to be an orc, I'm gonna be real upset. And
right,
I walk
cook and
out.
eat an orc. I mean, can we cook and eat an orc? Is that?
Oh yes, you can.
We can't cook and eat an orc.
You just got You just got to cook it long. You got to make sure it's well done. You got to make sure the meat's
we're not cooking and eating orc. Like the orc is like a thinking, talking creature.
So many questions, and I think I'm just gonna leave them for now.
I've met orcs. Like they're not bad guys. I'm just saying. Like,
I mean,
you guys won't eat the goat, but we'll eat an orc.
That's probably why you
said that
aren't
I wouldn't
eating
do it.
the
I
orc
had to
before
think
you're
about it, but
talking
I
to
said
it.
I wouldn't do it.
I've had orcs before, and they were delicious.
Well, I mean, I'd try it. If it's good enough for
Right
Solomon,
between
it's
the
good
eyes,
enough
yeah.
for me.
Solomon, do you mean
Alright,
pork?
do
you mean
we got a
pork
lot of
or orc?
questions to bring
I
up
don't know.
and talk
I don't
about as a
know
group.
any difference between words. Really.
Between those
pork.
two words, you
Could be
would.
pork, or I'm pretty sure that was pork. It wasn't orc.
Well, I think the P is silent where he comes
Could be
from.
cork.
Oh yeah,
for all I know.
Solomon. Does it walk around on four legs with short?
We
kind of-
We come from the same place, and I guarantee you, it is pork.
Yes, they're small. They have 4 appendages. Sometimes they carry axes and stuff.
Appendages.
Sometimes they carry axes and stuff.
Whoa. This is bad.
Wow.
This is just bad. I don't think I knew you.
I think
We got a
that's
serial killer.
I think that's a
This
dwarf,
is
Solomon. I,
When you
I
say
think
that,
it's a
you
dwarf.
literally-
Different side
He's
of
just
you
like
that
looking
we
off in the
should
distance, and
explore
he's
it later
lifeless
on our
eyes.
own.
I don't think
Hey,
I would
welcome in.
sit
Thanks
next
for
to
watching.
Solomon ever again.
We're
I
arguing
just-
about the difference between pork
And
and
he
orc
does like
right
the
now.
big hands thing
Found
towards
stuff
you.
out.
He did talk.
So
he
the
did talk about
innkeeper
really
kind of
cool meat.
rummages up all the food that isn't actually goat meat in some form. The goat meat would be
already
dried
have a
and
goat.
some goat meat in other forms, but she just pushes that to the side and gives you a pack. She kind of packs it in some
Pretty
cloth.
sure.
So
none of
here's
it's
how
goat
this
meat.
works. I pull out my coin purse and I
Uh-huh.
pull out a gold and I look at
Yeah.
Sherwin and he like shakes his head no, and I put the gold
Yeah.
back. And I pull out like a
Mhm.
piece of silver and he kind of like nods. And I keep doing that with each piece of money until it's like been paid for.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to count, but
So
if you just let me
it'll
know how much it is.
yeah. Well, for all of that, how about we call it good at, well, that's food for a good day, I would say, for all of you. Let's call it a, like, I'll be nice.
Well, thank
8
you.
copper pieces. I'm getting rid of some older food as well, so just 8 copper will be fine.
So I pull out a silver and Sherwin's like, no, and like puts a hand out. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
so this
and
will
I'm like
take some time.
just staring at Sherwin as I'm pulling out random coins, and I keep pulling out like the same ones on accident and being like,
I'm like,
he's
oh, actually, grab one of those silver ones. We'll leave a tip.
oh, oh, I like it.
I don't know.
I'll,
I don't know if they know what tipping is here, but we'll teach them.
Yeah, she happily takes it. Thank you very much.
here's your fall over for that.
My
There you go.
all over. Sure.
Yes, it's a tip.
It's a tip.
Yes. Oh, sure.
He doesn't know words
thank
that
you.
good either.
I will
yes.
curtsy and turn around
Okay.
and do the rock look again, but then just like, yeah, we're gone.
Okay.
I'll give her
I'm not
the.
actually
This
looking.
time
just
she
like,
does look at you.
I'll give
but,
her
you
the
know.
rock look and then curtsy and
boom,
fall
baby.
out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I just
Nice.
stare
How
at
many-
her
So,
and I just
In
this
all
took
that
a few
nonsense,
minutes. Yeah.
and all that nonsense, how many rations do we actually get?
just one
3
apiece,
days.
I think.
Yeah.
She figured that if you're four people trying to live for a day, it's almost 4. Like it's
So do we each put
3.8
4
rations.
or do we?
No,
Or
we
do
each
we
you
put
each
just
get
one
one.
person?
One in there. It's a
Oh, each
good
person puts
ration
one.
that will,
Got it.
keep you alive for a day. That's
Got
it can sustain you for traveling for a day. It's not gonna be a lot. And I mean, you did try some berries before, so
Oh
May
yeah, we'll be able to
always
figure it
that.
out.
may the Creator
Plus
bless
hunting.
your establishment, fine lady.
And then remove
We'll be
4.
back
You
with
said
some goddamn
4 copper?
board.
How much was the copper? I'm sorry.
It's 8 copper, she said.
Copper. Got it.
So it would be 2 per ration, but it's not quite there. Plus, it's been a lot. Like some of the food has been like the bread is just from like it's yesterday's bread pretty much. Like it's all the leftovers that she, you've seen some of that bread before, but it's probably hopefully been older, and that was what they then feed the goats. Like some of the bread, if it gets really stale and hard, it'll become goat food. But this is probably just yesterday's, leftover breads.
Got it.
It's all toasting bread or bread pudding bread.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Yeah, like it's not in top condition. It's just a day old.
Off
too
to
bad.
adventure, we're going on a trip.
Yeah, so Kyra is getting just a little bit nervous. She actually stayed outside waiting. Like she thought, you go in, get a few things, come out again,
Yeah,
and it
fucking
takes you
Esther
a
just comes
solid
busting out the door, just fuming.
Yeah. So you're like one of the first ones out, and she at least knows that you're going to come out eventually. But it takes like Sherwin and Solomon probably somewhere close to like 15 minutes or so to get all this done. Mostly because of, subtle money counting and stuff going on.
Teamwork
But,
makes the dream
yeah.
work.
Absolutely.
Hey, what
So
a
we're gonna be
welcome is.
traveling at
Immediately,
goat
was like,
speed,
where's
or
this
we
fucking
can
boar at?
we traveling at goat speed? Do we leave the goat here and come back for it later?
Goat
Like,
is a shoulder pet now.
Okay. Just checking.
So it's gonna ride on his shoulders. This is very interesting. She just scribbles down a little bit of a note. Yes, so I think I know where to go. Just one little, heads up from my parts. It's going to be probably quite big and everything. So you think you're up for this, right?
We're gonna kill this
No
goddamn
offense,
goat.
I'm just goat.
God damn it! I'm just all flustered. She got it in my
I'm on
head.
board.
Sorry.
We're killing the
We're gonna
goat now.
kill this boar.
Oh.
Fuck. Dude, yeah, sure. Or Sullivan like hugs the goat. No.
Sorry,
So-
Tom, Serena, Brady Williams.
Sort of
I
media
apologize.
looks up at
I am
we're
just
killing the
all
goat.
flustered.
Meh.
Loves
Okay,
goats, eats forks.
well-
I just don't know what's going on anymore.
For a moment, I thought you would use the goat as a bait, but I don't think that's like with all those names or
I'll be
this
bait.
big long name.
Wait,
I'm not
dude,
sure.
does this
Um,
boar like to eat goat? It'll eat goat?
I'm sure it eats everything. I mean, most
Oh,
boars do.
bring-
Ignore
Bring
him.
Brett-
Ignore him.
Bring
Too
old
bad we don't
Bradley,
have some-
Serena, Tom, whatever, and let's do this.
Oh, it's too bad we don't have some orc that we could lay out for some bait.
Oh, wow.
Everybody wants to eat it.
Yeah, it just
you know?
let's just how are you doing
Do
this morning? Just trying to like drag your attention away from everyone else. Like this is the way, right? We're going this way, this direction. It's like let's.
yes. Exactly. We can follow the way a little bit, but we'll have to veer off the path. It's just that way, and she just kind of walks into a northeastern direction. First a little bit just straight towards one of the other pathways that leads out of this clearing, and then after like not even like 20 minutes, something like that, she kind of veers off the path. So maybe be careful. There's also sometimes other creatures in the forests that it's not as bad as it would probably be at night, but just be a little bit careful.
I'd also like to
Should
keep
we
my eye out
maybe-
for prey so we can hunt some.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So are you just walking like normal pace and looking out for boar traces, or do you want to do like go stealthy or do anything to, surprise the prey, I guess?
Well, I mean, I could probably go ahead if I know which way we're going. I can go ahead stealthily and then let
Wait.
everybody walk at a regular pace.
I'm pretty perceptive. I can look for tracks if someone tells me what to look for.
Yeah, so
would
she
explain what
veers
you're
off the path at the point where there's a little farm, but you see huge gashes. All the fencing has been torn. There was a very small, very pretty, probably vineyard that has been, most of it has been razed, like something just all of the plants that still are there are pushed over. Some of them have roots sticking out of the ground. Others are just, broken at some point. It doesn't look pretty. It's a pretty big mess. There's lots of grapes just smushed and dirty and stuff on the ground in that vineyard. And then there's also the house, which has been, like, from the outside, you see some gashes.
Can I see the tracks?
You do see some tracks around the vineyard, and they do look like boar. They look a little bit larger than you would maybe expect from just your average wild boar.
From a knowing what an average boar size is and what their tracks look like, would I be able to discern about how big this boar is?
Make a survival check. You do notice that the tracks are also pretty deep in the ground, and if you kind of push next to it to get a feel of how hard the ground actually is in some places, you would assume that it's at least a very heavy animal. It's hard to like put a number on it for you, but it seems to at least be true that it's quite big and probably actually bigger than a normal boar would be. You do also know that it is not anywhere close to house sized. From the distance
Yeah.
between the charters, you're kind of assuming that just kind of the length now, well at least shoulders to hindquarters would be somewhere like it's pretty big in feet. You would assume it's probably closer to 10 feet,
Okay, so it's
like
a large
maybe
creature.
like 8-ish. So it does look like it's a pretty big one.
So I could assume it's a large creature, not a medium creature.
Yeah, you would definitely get that. You have no idea, like that's assuming that the rest of its anatomy is kind of what you're used to. But yeah, that's kind of what you get. So you know kind of a
shit.
length measurement, and you know it's quite heavy.
This thing is like twice the size of a regular boar, at least.
Well, that means just double the bacon, right?
Oh, hell yeah. All right, let's
So
get after it.
let's
I think
just
they call that more boar.
yeah. Let's just go. I mean, you can probably follow the tracks easier than I would. I'll just hang back, and I think that's all the guidance you need from me. I'll stay at a safe distance if that's okay. I'm really not anywhere
Yeah,
close
you,
to
Now,
hunter.
stay at a
Miss,
distance.
it'll be safest if you stay in between Solomon and I.
That is also
Well,
very true.
I will definitely, go as far as it seems to make sense, but let me know when you think you've found where it's, I guess, where it's hiding, and I'll just go and either climb a tree or something. I really don't want to end my story here.
Oh no, my story's far from over.
Trust me, you'll be
It's only
very
just
fine right by me. Oh my god, it's right there! Oh, just kidding, that's another tree. Oh, goodness. Sorry.
You almost got me there. Yeah. How about that?
Pretty sure he thought it was actually the boar.
Esther,
100%.
could you just let me know when you think we're close enough for me to just, stay back somewhere and hide in the nearest, I think, tree is probably good, and then I'll just be out of your way and out of this thing's way as well, and you can do your thing, I guess.
All righty there, little lady. You don't gotta worry yourself now.
All right. So you've already, you do have some tracks now to follow. And you'll probably, do you want to do anything else to prepare, or do you just kind of
I'm
want
prepping my
to go
bow for
after
as soon
the
as I
boar and
season-
then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
And
I'm
then
I'm
track 'em.
following the tracks.
Okay.
I'm watching them and trying to replicate what they're doing, but it's
You just
obviously
play
not
along.
going. Yeah, I have like a stick and I'm poking a tree.
It's like
Mhm.
you're just crouched low, like just like
Yeah.
oh, here's the leaf right there. There's the leaf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is there no?
I'm gonna-
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna
That's
summon
another
my
leaf. Like no, Solomon, that's a rock. Oh, all right.
Yep. Oh, see that now? Don't you say it?
Yeah, as you track along, you actually do find some more, traces of probably some kind of, it's mostly it's the tracks, but also a pretty wide path of destruction of just plants and anything.
I'm
being
assuming he's
broken.
not hard to track.
No, at that point now, it's
The
for
creator
somebody
is
who
pointing
has
us this way.
slightest idea. Yeah, you totally know. Yeah, and you do get to a point where it seems like this might be, you know, the clearing where like the forest is kind of receding a little bit. And yeah, there's a lot of tracks, and you see a place where it might have been just, you know, kind of lying on the ground, and just there's a puddle with some mud. Looks more and more like it's the home of a boar.
Sherwin tries to imitate boar noises as loud as he can, terribly.
Okay. I guess make a performance check.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
dude. A board is he is a true bard. He is a true bard.
God damn it.
Well, I
Well,
rolled an
I mean,
11.
yeah.
Got a 10.
You know what? In bard,
That's
I'm sorry, in boar terms, an 11, it's like dog years. That's very good.
That's
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So yeah, you do that, and it doesn't even take that long.
I click my
on the
heel
next
of the
thing.
boots together as
Okay.
soon as I see the boar,
You
and then I take
first
the shot.
you hear something like just across the clearing. There's a place where it's a little bit more. There's somewhere just
Ooh, map change.
rubble lying around. There's a little bit of a cave apparently. That's just
Don't
kind
worry,
of
Sheldon, it's going to be
edging
okay.
into this. But you're somewhere around here on the map now. So
I'm gonna
southern
say I
edge
don't
of
hear
the
anything,
map.
but I'm gonna that gal, I'm gonna like kind of grab her and tuck her away like behind me, kind of and try to signal to her like time to climb a tree.
Nice. So first you kind of hear some grunting, and then
Is it
there's
dark? Am I supposed to not be able to see
or
anything?
no, it's because I didn't yet. It probably is on. Yeah, it shouldn't be.
And guess what? That boar's got fucking night vision goggles. Fuck us up, dude.
I do not.
Yeah. No, for the boar it would make like a difference, but not for this one. So now I should see stuff.
Yeah.
So you're kind of to the south of this map. You're kind of just at the edge of the forest. There's a little bit of a clearing, and there's a pretty huge, like it's a large creature, a boar charging up at you. Let's roll initiative.
I think we should be smaller.
Oh yeah.
You
Do I
did
get my
prepare a
shot
little
at him?
bit. If you want to say that you actually, are a little bit further off from the others, if we
Yeah, I
place
was
you a
ahead
little
of
bit further
everybody.
off,
sneaking
then
ahead.
you can get a shot at it first. Yeah. So it's not going to be a full surprise round, but still.
I can't move my guy.
Oh,
I can move
okay.
him, but I can't move him forward anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how to find my token.
You got to
I
go
can
over to the journal
probably-
and just drag it on there.
Yeah. In the journal, you should see your token.
Well, I'm so fast.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm still a noob.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a considerable initiative you got there.
I guess actually I
Yeah.
would be a little bit behind because the gal was with me, so I'm gonna kind of like
Yeah.
sure I was
She's-
probably towards the back of the party.
Yeah. She kind of stayed back the second that Esther would have been, starting to draw his bow pretty much. Like she sees anybody actually preparing for some kind of fight, she'll be out of there.
Oh, so like I turned to like signal her and she's already gone.
Yeah,
Like,
she
what?
probably has been gone by the time you managed to figure that the others are preparing.
Like,
Solomon was just like, "Oh shit, we lost her."
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like following Solomon's like words and like looking back for the girl and seeing that she's gone. and then turning around and seeing that Esther and Soren rolled stealth, and that's higher than my passives. I don't know where they are either. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's-
we don't see them.
yeah,
They're
it's
gone.
just me and
That's
Solomon.
true.
Me
That's
and
a
Solomon
really good point. That's a really
chilling.
good point. Yeah,
You're on
that's
your
true.
own now. Yeah.
True.
Like, well, where'd they go?
Yeah, exactly. Like I look at you and you do that like really quick head nod, like nope. I'm like, fuck.
Mm. Yeah. So let's
No
see. I should
worry.
also roll initiative for this thing, shouldn't I? Sherwin's one is just great.
Coming in hot.
Oh shit, you got a one, homie?
Well,
I rolled a
I think you
2.
rolled a 2. Yeah.
Oh. Minus one dex,
So it's a thing. Then this guy, not too bad. Okay, so the first one would still be Soren, wouldn't he? Yeah.
I do want to take my shot.
Yeah, you do take your shot, and then we start the initiative. So
Oh.
the first thing the second you see it.
Yeah, like because I was prepped with the arrow the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt
Yeah.
mode.
Are we
like
are we the
hunters do.
appropriate
Hit it.
Hunting
size,
style.
or are we
You do
bigger?
hit it, and it's 11. All right.
Oh, and you already know some poison in it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
I see Esther now.
Yeah, you pretty much, if you follow the arrow back that you see where it shot from, you can. The board doesn't care. But so the first one in initiative order would be Soren.
Well, you didn't.
Well, I don't feel like having this thing immediately charge at me, so I'm gonna hold my
Uh-oh.
action to firebolt the creature until Solomon or Sherwin has charged it.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right. So you're just preparing for now.
yeah, just I've got the firebolt manifested.
Yeah.
I got the firebolt manifested, ready to go. I'm just kind of holding on to it until one of them charges first.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. So the creature, see how far he can go.
Well,
It's gonna
Solomon would be
go all the way there. The board just rolled a better initiative.
the board rolled a 14. I thought Solomon got a 15.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh yeah, you're just not on the thingy yet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Me
you
and
go
Solomon aren't on the initiative
Mhm.
order.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is
Add
there
you.
something special I have to do to that? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You
I'll
click
just
your
add
token.
We
you.
forgot to click on our tokens.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Solomon. It's fine. Yeah, you both have a 15, so that's totally fine.
I mean, I don't know.
I have a
You. That's 15.
I don't know if we ever walked Solomon through that about how you have to click your token when you roll
Yeah,
initiative.
I've never
Probably
I don't think
not.
we did.
Yeah,
I always
I was just
forget.
having that thought.
That's
So yeah,
that's
you
totally
when
on
you
me.
when you roll initiative on roll 20,
Mhm.
make sure you just highlight your token. Just click on it so that you're like
on one
got it
side.
selected,
I see.
and
And
then
then it
roll
will-
your initiative. Yeah.
7
Okay.
plus 3 for Esther. I can also add you later. It's just the automatic
No, but-
way.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
I
10,
should
right?
definitely be because you have enough stuff to worry
Yeah.
about.
I got a
should be
10.
doing that.
Yeah. Esther's doing, pretty. Yeah, but we
bad,
did.
but
I think we
he's
have everybody in
observing.
now.
Observing.
I'm impressed
Yeah.
with how fast you are, Esther.
Alright.
and Solomon's like, me too, but he's looking in the wrong direction, thinking he's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to Esther. He has no fucking clue
Yeah.
where he is.
You do see a boar kind of seeming to probably trying to go your way. Like it's straight up just charging your way as far as you can see. So what would
Easy,
Solomon like to do?
And 50, 30. I would
Get him,
like.
Solomon.
Whoa! Oh shit! Okay, not that. What the hell? What is happening? Hold on. I think I'm zoomed too far out. It's like acting. I click on
Oh,
him, it
possibly,
just
yeah.
goes nuts. There we go. Okay, so I was Okay, come on, screen.
It wouldn't let me
How
go
come-
up past where you're at.
Yeah,
I
what
had
the
to
heck?
actually
Yeah.
delete my token and
Hold on.
drag a new one on up.
I had to drag it up
It's
the
like
side.
every time I click on it, it just moves the
It
entire
Drifts
screen.
a little bit, right?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so
Okay.
I was further back. Not up. Oh my god. Okay, well then I'm moving up
If
to.
you want, I can like move you for you. That will work.
It's just being really weird.
Sure,
Okay, so I'll
tokens
move up
was
to
smart.
here,
Uh-huh.
and I have my shield up, and
Mhm.
I would like to take a free action to just bang on my shield,
Oh, yeah.
and like make a lot of noise, and
Okay.
kind of I don't know, like I this sounds weird, but can I take my action to try to gleam the sun and like do a reflection
Oh,
like,
you wanna
towards the board,
Yeah.
to like flash light towards it so that like I'm a big distraction?
You can absolutely try to do that, yeah.
It's a
Problem
really
is
weird
just
check. I
that
don't-
you will have to get that's pretty close to an intelligence check right there. You
Oh,
can
shit,
yeah,
yeah.
let's make it a
Alright.
survival. I mean,
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. That's gonna be my action though.
yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
Um,
good.
Yeah,
He's
you
gone ore hunting before.
you kind of clock where the sun is and how you would have to angle the shield to actually get it to kind of be a mirror towards the boar. And you pretty much seem to like hit the spot. Like from your
You know, you can
perspective,
like
looks
see
pretty
the
good.
bright light, like if you have a watch
Yeah,
or
you
something,
see,
you know,
yeah,
you
it's
can
lit
see
up.
the spot, and then I'm like putting it on the boar's face if I can, or
Yeah.
it's trying to
I
at
just
least pass it a few times.
Uh-huh.
like how I'm
Nice.
like picturing this is like you're like walking forward and you like pull your shield out and then you see the like the light from your shield like go on the ground. You're like, ooh, oh, in the eyes.
Yeah.
You just like put it up in the eyes because it's like already like lined up real nice. You're like, oh, look at this, it's shiny light. Oh, I have an
100%.
idea.
And by the way, this does not blind it or anything. It's just
No,
mostly
it's
I'm
just
just trying to
gonna
distract it. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get it to look at me or to like
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's
My
it's
turn.
pretty much, it's a goading attack as much as you can be without actually attacking anything, I guess.
100%.
So yeah, you kind of, you make some noise, you make some light that's kind of probably annoying it. So in a way, yeah, it might very much charge at you. And you're just gonna stay there, right? So
Yes.
that's gonna be the boar's turn. Let me see how far it can get. Not quite, but close enough. It moves as close as it possibly can towards you. And let me see if it can do anything that would make it. That would make this work. Nah.
Oh, since Solomon went out and charged it, can I go and use my
Hold on.
cold action?
The boar cast fireball.
You can use your held action, yeah. You
Oh, yeah, there you
definitely see it now. So yeah, do your held action first, and I'll do the board then.
Three big old fire damage.
3. Nice.
Does that help?
Yeah, gonna add that to the total, or subtract actually.
Start the barbecue early.
Okay.
Smells like bacon.
Well,
Oh,
it's
dude, you know it smells great.
Bacon.
singe a little bit of it.
We just have like PTSD from no good food for too long.
I guess who's all within 40 feet now of its. That's what I'm wondering. It's definitely
I am.
Solomon. You are, Esther, just out of range, and Solomon is too. So yeah, Esther and Sherwin both make a a wisdom. Is it safe? I think it's a save. Yeah, wisdom save.
Wait, I
both
thought you
of
said I was out of its range.
You're out of range. No, it's Solomon and Sharon. Sorry, I said Esther, didn't I?
No worries. Okay, wisdom save.
Wisdom
If I just
save.
click on
Yeah.
the
18 is
wisdom
pretty good.
thing, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just
You might have, if you have a different save, there's another box with your saving
Oh,
throws.
I got it.
if
Okay, I
there's
got it.
another
Okay.
number.
See. Oh my gosh. Dang it.
You know.
It was so close to getting a 17.
Okay. So it's a really weird board. There's a lot of tusks and other things sticking out of it, and just really the hairs on it kind of stand on edge, very bristly. And both of you kind of have the second of, oh, this isn't good.
Uh-oh.
But you get over it, both of
Oh,
you.
sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean,
I ain't afraid of no boar.
all it can move unless it's, gonna do anything else. So it's Esther's turn.
That's a good
Right.
joke.
I activate Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
I go to
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Then I shoot them.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
So it started blasting. There's arrow traps around here.
There's arrow traps here too, guys. Watch out.
Right. Yep. And then we have 4 more. Yeah. I mean, you hit pretty well, and your arrows seem to, make a difference, and seems like you're doing something.
There. Okay. That's a good spot for Squigs. He's gonna stay there. Yeah, action, bonus action, movement, and that is everything for me. I shoosted him.
Okay.
Shoosted him as good as I could.
Okay. Yeah. Sherwin, what would you like to do? You just realized things are happening.
Oh, well, I guess you better go. And I get up there. Oh, yeah, I can't cross the platform either. Give me a moment.
Oh, yeah. Let me.
Yeah, if you just want to put me up there next to Solomon, that's where I'm
Just
going.
there?
Yeah, I can't get any
All right.
farther than that. But I will Toll of the Dead, the boar.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
And it is missing hit points, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a wisdom save of 14.
14. Let me see. It's wisdom. Is
Cutting
already
words.
up on roll 20, I think.
I don't have cutting words.
Yeah, I know.
7.
So I was just saying, cutting words.
No, but the boar does.
Nope, it doesn't. But it's just a failed save, and it decides to succeed instead. Doesn't need cutting words.
Oh, legendary actions. Okay.
I would also like to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good spell.
Okay. Yep. Always good.
Spiritual
So
weapons, spiritual
intense.
guardians are so fucking
Yeah,
good.
spiritual guardians is actually fucking way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So we have your wife's mace out again, and you in front of it, and all that. That's it for you, right? That's
you
all
mentioning
the actions you can have. Soren, you're up again.
When I cast it, I can make the attack with it too. Though.
Yeah, you can too. Yeah.
I
For sure gonna
am.
pick that up from Magical Secrets on my board.
Dude,
yeah,
it's so
hits.
good.
I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath on my familiar.
Okay.
Oh, buddy, what a good move!
And then
All right.
That's
Yes.
my bonus action.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and well, he can use its action, so I'll let him do that on its own, and I'll go ahead and cast a firebolt with my action.
Sure. Yeah.
Squigs is a little jealous of your familiar right now because he can't even Dragon Breath yet.
Well, I was gonna do it on Sherwin because I thought that might make him, a little bit kinder toward dragons, but he's already got a bonus action thing he's doing, so this made more sense. That'd be 7 fire damage, and then I will
7.
have my hawk that I released earlier
Mm-hmm.
swoop down and deliver the dragon's breath attack.
Yep.
Nice.
It's DC
pretty good.
14.
DC
Dex.
14.
Dex save, baby.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm gonna do this
How about a
fire because
20?
Oh, shit.
that'll
Hey.
work.
I decided that it's a what? Because now I'm also a divination.
Get out of here. I'm going to play every class
that
in
would
one
be-
character. My
that'd be
stats are all
half
20.
I was going to say, I'm also a bard. I'm also a rogue.
It's just everything.
And then I'm going to
That's
rage.
half damage for that, right?
Yep,
The
so
fire
13
damage?
fire damage this round.
13. Yes.
Getting that barbecue started
Nice.
early. And then I'll
Seriously, though.
Look, it's really looking pretty. It hasn't actually gotten to any of you, but it looks pretty hurt.
I'm gonna stay
Oh,
hidden in the woods.
Okay.
I don't know
Smell
how
like
hidden I actually am. I'm shooting fire out of the woods, but I'm gonna stay in the trees.
you smell like bacon, piggy.
You're further away than some of your teammates, so that's the thing. That's all you do, right? I mean, that's a lot.
That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Solomon, you're standing there. The boar is just,
Yeah.
not that far away. It's
Yep.
pretty big, even for you.
It smells great.
Yeah,
I'm
it got singed.
Can I try to get between Sherwin
Yeah.
and the boar?
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to. Actually, am I blocking anything? Okay. I would like to just smack it with my shield.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, do I have that attack loaded? Let's see. It's a 1d8 now, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So. And I okay, that was great. Oh, I just rolled damage. I didn't even
You
roll
have
hit.
to,
I'm sorry.
first.
Yeah, that
let's
makes
see
sense.
If you
All
hit.
right.
It's going to be a super wimpy hit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. That should.
You do
It
hit.
hits, though.
I mean, you do
18
hit.
plus 3, so 21. Guess I
Little-
gotta click on this too.
It's a little boop on the
Yeah,
nose.
2 plus
Such a
3, right?
fucking
So,
noob on D&D. Jeez.
That's totally fine.
All right, a D8. Okay, so now I'm gonna. Well, we'll keep the 2. So 2 plus 3, so 5.
Plus 3. Yeah.
5 damage. And
Nice.
I guess I want to hit it with my shield, like just
Yeah.
bump it really hard, and do like that weird thing where you kind of back up a little bit, kind of like a goat or a boar is like rearing to like charge again, just to kind of
Yeah.
like trying to signal this thing to come back into me. And
Okay.
I would like to try to do boar grunts, which are mostly going to come out like
Yeah.
what? Boing, boing. They're not good. And
Yeah.
that's my turn.
All right. Trying to insult it in boar or something. Nice.
Pretty much.
It's the boar's turn. It got hurt badly. Like, it really doesn't look that good anymore. And it charged right in. Also looks like, there's a spear or two sticking out of its like hindquarters that somebody must have thrown at it at some point.
Spear? Did you say a spear?
There is a spear. You see it. You're close up now. You do see that it has some wounds from other, like probably the soldiers that tried to get rid of it first.
Gotcha. Okay.
It has some wounds that is obviously from other people trying to hunt it down and actually kill it. But it doesn't seem to be that perturbed by it. So what it will do first of all, kind of looks around and it definitely like you're pretty good at trying to keep its attention, so it's probably still gonna try and hit you. Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna hit you. I mean, it's right there.
Yay.
It'll roll for an attack on you. Where's my board gone? There. It just tries to get its tusks past your shield with a 17.
Armor class 18.
Yeah.
Yo, buddy.
Nice. But also both of you, like Solomon and Sherwin, and I guess Squeaks too. Those are the ones that are within its range. Roll another wisdom save. Just see if anybody else is close.
Ooh,
9.
that was
Oh
bad.
my gosh, dude, that's like my third
Wow.
18 I've rolled. I've seriously rolled 18 like 3 different times.
Squigs has a
Wow.
better wisdom save than me, but he didn't roll very good.
I rolled a 1 plus 8.
So Squeaks and Sherwin are confused for a minute. They can end the effect on their turns. At the end of their turns, they can roll again. But for now, they will just attack something, pretty much.
Sweet.
Well, there's a whole
yeah.
confusion chart that you can put up, that you can pull up.
Yeah.
They do all
I
kinds
know.
of crazy shit.
That
gonna
chart's
be-
confusing though.
It's a little, yeah, it depends a little bit. For this,
Stop it.
I will just go for the regular D10 version of this. So, move in a random direction or doesn't move and doesn't do anything, and
Or attacks
uses to make an attack to somebody that's close by. But you also have a chance on actually succeeding and making an actual attack.
Yes.
So yeah, but it's not much to see right now, but 2 of you are confused by the spore, which also looks pretty bad though. Like Esther, you're up and you will see that this spore looks pretty close to death.
Okay. So, because he's confused, it means he can't take reactions or anything, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, might as well just do. Fuck it. We'll spend
Yeah,
another
can't
spell
take
slot.
reactions.
I just realized that last turn I didn't add the D8 for my Zephyr Strike.
Oh yeah, you might not have
Do
done
that now. It's 2 more damage.
Nice.
But now I'm gonna roll the attack with Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
Don't think that's gonna hit.
Yeah, no. That's actually not gonna hit.
Oh shit. Okay, so that was a waste of a spell slot, but here we are. Wait, I get advantage on the attack because of Zephyr Strike.
Oh yeah, you do. Roll again. And
I'm gonna add Sharpshooter. So I'm gonna take 5 off of the hit, and it adds just 10 flat damage.
Yeah. That'll be enough to kill the boar. That'll definitely kill it. It's hard to see any wounds on this one because it's totally like it's all caked. The hairs on it are caked with all the dirt and lots of like blood and probably a lot of grape juice as well. So it's a little bit like it's not armored in any way, but it kind of looks rigid. And it pretty much just, you have a good position to just shoot it right behind the shoulder blade and just strike its heart.
I know
you
where
are. Yeah.
Hit it in the kill spot.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what he does.
I'm going to use
click the off button.
prestidigitation to just clean the outside of the boar off as much as possible so that Solomon can carry it back without being caked in mud
Okay.
and grime.
Yeah.
You say that, but like the shot goes through and just like just blood just sprays all over Solomon.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fine.
It's like
Blood
right
will
behind the
rinse off.
shoulder blade, but it comes
Yeah.
out the neck, and so it just like it's like a tube. It just
And it's like right when he's behind his shield and
Oh.
he like peeks over it and just like just sprays him across the face.
Solomon,
Oh.
don't touch it. It's still alive.
Oh, it ain't alive. Sorry about that. Solomon.
It's called hepatitis. It's called Pepsi-citis. It's called Pepsi citrus. I got something.
Yeah.
It's just it. I mean, maybe salmonella.
Yeah.
I think it's still alive.
So it's killed. I'm
actually
Thing
really
is,
glad you
you-
aren't like Solomon. Make a con save.
And no, what I think is that actually you would need one more save, a wisdom save from
It's dead
Sherman
though.
and from
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
know.
confused.
I'm
but the
down.
effect
Oh,
is
you're
still there.
right. It's
So
not
confusion
a
is still
fucking
up. So
concentration shit.
no.
Okay, yeah.
It's also just an effect for this creature, and they
Well, that
got
should.
yeah, you do save out of it. So
Ooh.
you know, for this one thing, we'll just say that you yeah, well, Wix is still very confused.
All right. I just I like look at Squigs and be like, Squigs. All right, I don't know what's going on. And I put my
Yeah.
hand out and then I close it and Squigs like just dissolves and then like a little like patch
Okay.
of moss grows. And then I
Okay,
open
yeah.
it again, and then from the moss he like grows back out of it as I resummon him.
Nice. Okay.
And
This
I'm not sure.
version is broken. I'll take
conditions.
another one.
That's pretty legit.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I was supposed to make the check, but if I did, I failed.
You did. I
I think you
think
succeeded. Yeah, you
I
succeeded.
succeeded the
last
first
time.
one. I didn't know if you're saying like
you
I
did
need to make
succeed
another
the
one.
first one exactly. So
Yes.
you weren't confused actually. You were
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
this
It
was
was
the plus
Sherwin
combat shit.
and Squigs.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
So
This
so
is the
good.
flex and bust out.
Well, it looks
Yeah,
like a lot of people trying to kill this thing over time. Should we search its lair or whatever? It looked like it's some weapons hanging on it. I don't wonder if it had anything else.
Yeah, it does have like a spear shaft sticking out of its like, you know, the hindsight, pretty much just where the legs
I
kind of
take it.
start, and it's pretty broken, very very stinky, very
Oh, it's
stinky.
not a good. It's just like a
No.
broken ass spear. No, I
It's
don't take it.
broken.
You
I
know
pull it out,
Solomon
though.
loves it
Like
though.
the whole thing really stinks. Like it reeks.
Can I like look around to see if I see any more paths or anything that it might have made, or if there's like maybe another
Yeah.
one around?
Sure. Yeah, make a perception or investigation check if you want to go and, you know, actually go and look at.
I will give him help.
We're great at this.
Yeah, you might need some help. Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, you do see where it
And then
must
Squigs
have
will go
come
help store
from.
it.
Actually, I'll have my familiar give me the help action just so that I can.
Yeah.
And can
Yeah,
I
you
go
do.
help
Well,
the lady out of the tree or whatever? Try to like
Sure, yeah. If you want to help her, you did you pick up the boar? It's
I
it's
can't. I
large.
was
You
gonna
can-
wait. I was gonna wait for homie to like clean
Okay.
it up or cut it
Okay.
or I don't know.
Just wanted to
Yeah, I would
check how
just-
stinky you are.
Yeah, I'm just I
Um,
prestidigitated it off just to clean it off, like to get all the
Okay.
grime and everything off of it. It's still bleeding, but blood will rinse off easily. I just
Yeah.
don't like it's gonna be caked in like feces and all kinds of stuff. Pigs are gross.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's lots of boar feces on it. There's a lot of blood on
Yeah.
it. There's
I
all the
prestidigitated
grape
all that off.
juice
It's all-
caked
it's
in
all-
there.
It's as clean as possible for something
Yeah.
that's bleeding
I-
out.
Oh my god, I feel really bad for this boar now. Oh my god.
I mean, I can if I have 10 minutes, I can pray over it and purify all of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
should
I'm
have
gonna
And
leave
while
that
all
and let
that is
them
going
send
on,
it.
you can help. You can help Kyra down the tree.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
trying
was
to
gonna
see
say,
where this boar is like hides, basically. I'm trying to see
Can
where
I
its
say it still
lair is.
takes like It still takes like 10 minutes because I'm
To
like,
find her?
just jump, I'll catch it. I'll catch you. It'll be fine. And she's just like, I don't want to. I can climb down. I'm like, no, just jump. So
Yeah,
like he's doing
she
the
is
ritual
going
cast,
to try
and
to
I'm
explain. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I can just climb down I mean, I climbed up here without your
Just
help.
jump.
Um,
No, it's dangerous to
just
climb.
make way.
You can hurt.
I want to jump where you stand. There's dry leaves there. I want to jump on that. Just
No, leaves. You can't jump on leaves. They've been highly organized by these trees. You gotta. Come on now.
she just keeps trying to convince you. She's not used
It
to
takes 10
somebody
minutes.
not
It
being
takes
yes.
at least 10 minutes. It's a stupid conversation, but it
And like
happens.
during that, at some point in time, like I come
Yeah.
back and be like, Solomon, yeah, I need you to
Heal.
hold this board. What are you guys
He
doing?
just shoots her.
Because
She's
I'm
out.
like, I
There you
want
go.
Solomon to hold the boar up while I like bleed it. So
Yeah,
when we travel
okay.
back, the meat doesn't go bad.
I mean, I'm purifying it right now.
Yeah, he's purifying, so it's
Um,
gonna be like 10 minutes.
Oh, will that take the blood out and everything?
I don't know.
I
It
don't
just
know.
makes it so it's not poison and safe to
It's
eat.
not poisonous in any way.
Y'all ever
Yeah.
had?
So between
holy
all
blood
that,
in
we'll
your
dress
body?
it down and make it.
Yeah, I
Like,
was say I want to
I
dress
mean,
it down.
honestly, we want to gut it open. We take out all
Yeah.
the insides. Like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Jeez,
carry it
no.
until you guys do all that stuff. I'm
No.
leaving because I
Yeah.
will just.
Esther's
I mean, I
gonna
can
take
smash it with my shit. If you guys
Yeah,
want
Esther's doing
pork
ranger shit.
gravy,
Yeah,
I can
all
do
the
that.
hunter ranger shit.
If I found
Okay.
any paths or anything with my 25 perception,
You do
I
find
would do that.
yeah.
All the
Maybe
paths.
Yeah.
with Solomon while
Yeah.
they take care of the stiff.
Yeah, you
Oh, gotcha,
absolutely
gotcha.
do find exactly where the boar came from, which is a very, very dirty little cave. I'll just put you right in there. Right here.
Oh,
That
I'll follow him.
it's very, very stinky in there. There's lots of boar feces. You do see some like it's a lot of mud and all that. I'll put you all in here in case you want to see.
Oh, I can see in there even. Without
Yeah.
I'm
So
still working on the pig, anyways.
yeah. So it's not a pretty sight. It's not very big.
Oh, fucking PTSD.
You do
to
see
that shit.
some dead people that it kind
Oh,
of
no.
they've been gored by the boar's tusks. Probably they just
Do they have any
lie in between.
identifiers on them or anything? Like something that might let us know what their identity was or their loved ones?
They don't have any identifiers on them, as far as you can tell from just looking. If you want to check, you would have to do an investigation check.
Can I just
I can do that.
pray over him?
Yeah.
Like I don't know ceremony or anything, but like just
Okay.
say a little something.
Yeah. So you investigate the one in the back there. With a 12.
I'll recall my. No, that's the one I was looking for the entrance earlier and watch Sherwin walk ahead of me in there.
Yeah, Sherwin just vanished in the
He
brush.
sees it from across the field when I'm like looking right in front of it. I can't see shit.
Yeah.
It's right there. You gotta get low, Short.
I don't think I've spent as much time out like doing this kind of stuff as you guys have. I will use my familiar to get advantage on this investigation check. I'm gonna have my hawk kind of just perching there and trying to use its eagle eyes or its hawk eyes to kind of narrow in and see.
Yeah, makes sense.
I will join Sherwin in
23.
prayer.
Nice. Okay, so while you pray over the other body, Soren is investigating this, the one on the other side. You do find actually a silver spear on that one. Like it's a still usable, currently very bloody, very dirty spear that, because you look really closely, you see that it's actually a good spear. And it looks like the tip has been silvered. You also find some gold and silver. There's on this one, it's 15 gold pieces. and it's 17 silver pieces.
Okay.
Very nice. So, if I'm proficient with martial weapons, does that mean I'm also proficient with versatile weapons?
I would almost think so, yeah. Let me check if I can find that out.
Can't tell because all my weapons that I have right now are all martial.
Yeah.
I'll do the same with the other
Well,
boy.
because a spear is also a simple weapon, I would assume that that's like
Oh, I know how
spears
I can
should
go. I'll just add
not
a
be a
spear to my
problem
inventory.
in themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Nice.
thinking, so if nobody
I'll do
else
my
can use it,
Yeah.
I'll use it.
You
I'll do
check
my
the other one as well.
CSI Vegas. Yeah, I'll do my CSI Vegas
Hey,
like
welcome in.
autopsy on the body as
Yeah.
everyone's praying
Not
over it.
proficient with spears.
Oh.
No, yeah. You do on this body, you this one is a little bit like the other one was pretty much just paste. But you could see that there used to be a body. There was like a hand and a little bit of a leg still kind of in a position that you could see where it was. This one is a little bit more whole. It's still ripped open right in the middle. But it's more recognizable and it looks like it might have been a soldier at some point. That now looks like it's almost ripped in half. On this one you find 10 gold pieces and 20 silver pieces.
Nice.
So they they carried some gold and silver with them in their pouches that you luckily still get out of the muck here. But other than that, this one looks pretty stripped of everything else. And this, like, the smell in here is disgusting. You all smell terribly now.
Oof.
Like,
As soon as I get out, I'm gonna start just prestidigitating myself from head to toe.
yeah, you will probably have to. I mean, I don't know that it's
can get it
a
on the nose.
really bad case of just.
So this is an old Solomon trick. He's gonna take 3 big sniffs in. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay. Yeah.
3 big ones, because once you do it
Mhm.
after 3, you kind of get a little bit normalized. Now he's kind of
When
He's
he does
alright.
the third one,
He's
when he
alright.
does the third one, right when he goes to breathe in, I want to use prestidigitation to create a the smell of his worst fart from when we were traveling down the mountain or like through the tunnel. Like one night he's been eating goats for 3 weeks straight. He's a very large man. He lets one rip in the middle of the night, and I remember it's burned in my memory.
Okay.
I want to use
I was just
prestidigitation.
about
Super
to ask
Son
you to make a
con
con save. Thank you for that. And this would have
Dude.
been hilarious, but you do like your constitution is pretty good, and
hey,
you
Soren?
do keep it together, but you tear
I
up a little bit.
I love that brand. I love that brand.
That last one
Very
smell a little
nice.
different. The last one smell a
Very
little
nice.
different. Did it smell
He's just
better
like, oh
or
yeah,
worse?
you always remember one of your own. Yep.
did it smell better or worse than inside of here? I honestly, in my opinion, I think it smelled worse.
It's
No, check
think
me
the
shoes. I'm
mixture
wearing
does
I'm wearing Adidas. All day I dream of faults.
There's
Say
there's
what?
2
I'm
corpses in here and pig feces, and I still think it smells better in here than it did in that tunnel that one night.
Well, you guys can smell stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sherwin
you
has
probably-
COVID.
Yeah, it's a good
completely.
thing the cat didn't go in there. He'd be having problems.
Yeah. So she doesn't like from outside the cave, you hear Kalia just call like very well done. I didn't think you would actually kill it that quickly. That was amazing.
This thing was easy.
That
Ma'am,
must be a sign.
I think you
on
just
in here and-
underestimate how much we like bacon.
Get
We
in
were
here.
very
Write
motivated, I
down
will
these.
say.
Get in here. Write down these smells.
Oh, it's good
No,
story
thank
points
you.
in here.
It's bad enough back here, and I'm at least 15 feet away from the entrance, and it's too bad. It's biting my nose really.
Yeah, Esther's just like, I'm not going anywhere near that cat.
Uh,
Yeah.
Solomon,
You would
will you
probably really be in trouble.
will you help me get these bodies out of here? I feel like we need to
Oh,
we
yeah,
need to put them at least in a bush or something.
We're 100%. Can we bury these guys?
Kylea hears you from like talking about bodies from the outside, and so we should absolutely bury the bodies, and we should also sacrifice this boar because
Oh, but the boar's already dead.
yes,
Yeah, we're
but
gonna get the boar's
sacrifice the
bacon.
boar's body. It's the way people do it here, and if you don't, it can, there's the gods don't like it if you disrespect
Oh,
them.
come on! What are we gonna do? Summon a dragon?
What if we substitute the goat? And then we take the pig.
Hold on,
Now,
man.
well,
Hold on.
now, hold on.
a
Now.
second.
I'm just saying.
What do you want more? A
This
goat or
boar
bacon?
is gonna be delicious. Its sacrifice is being delicious bacon on a
Well,
spit roast
Good
well, to
point.
be
in
fair,
about a day from now.
to be fair, it is my practice that when in a strange land, I respect the beliefs and culture of that land. So,
Soren, I'm hungry.
I get it.
I don't give a fuck.
We didn't even
trying
be.
to
if
establish
we're-
an entire new religion in this country. We don't need to follow that.
I don't care about that. Sure, I mean that's valid.
I mean,
Let's
but
listen to it.
aren't we supposed to be trying to like broker a deal between the gods and the titans and the dragon lords? Like, this isn't going to be a great start.
Soren,
He's got a point.
Look.
If you disrespect the gods now, they're probably not going to listen to you much.
yeah, but you have a way better chance of disrespecting the gods when you're hungry.
Oh, well, let's
We
listen
do
to it
have
for a
food.
second.
Well,
let's
you do
let's
have
make
the ration.
We also have plenty of daylight if we wanted to go out and try to hunt something else
We
in the area.
made
Real quick.
plans for this boar.
hear me
Well,
out
what
here.
if we found
Hear
a
me out
smaller
here.
boar? Usually boars come in, like groups, right?
Solomon, what do you want to say? Is there
W-
any
let's-
idea?
Let's respect the local culture, and let's build a big fire and sacrifice this boar.
So we can eat it, right?
And then ate it.
Yes.
See, lady, it's going to be just fine. We're going to do
Yes,
everything that we're
perfect.
supposed to
Let's
do.
sacrifice
Get out of
let's
this boar.
sacrifice this boar right here, right now.
Do you want the pelt? I bet Esther can make the pelt for you, and you can wear it to a little doodad, a
Or we can
little
sacrifice the
little
pelt
shock hop.
and eat the meat.
Well, I'm just honestly, my character's background is anthropologist, so there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to eat this meat now that this lady has said it's part of her culture to sacrifice it.
No.
I'm just gonna, respectfully, I can't eat it. I can't eat it.
Excuse me, Miss. I just want you to know that I did already purify it. So if its soul is there and that's what we're supposed to sacrifice, well, it's already gone.
Well, it's more of a custom that has been observed for, centuries, if not millennia, that if you have those kinds of, you see how it's not your normal sized normal boar, people that manage to hunt down creatures that obviously have been touched by some kind of other power, they do sacrifice them to one of the gods.
No, that was just
we can
Solomon.
We can possibly just the bodies that you took out of the cave, we should definitely, you can decide if you want to rather bury them and dig some graves here somewhere, or if you want to burn them. Both would be acceptable. We would need 4 gold pieces, obviously. But other than that, that is also a custom that is, has been around
Wait.
forever.
I
It's
mean,
like-
what I was
You
gonna,
said
I
gold
was gonna,
pieces?
Well, for the ferryman, obviously.
yeah, I forgot.
Ah,
I was,
Like,
Lord.
I was thinking
so
that we,
you put them on the ice, and they pay their right to the other side with it.
I was thinking that we'd bury them because it makes a lot of sense. It's what's pretty normal in my culture. But I wouldn't mind smoked boar either. So,
Wow, smoked with over a fire.
Oh, Solomon, you
I think it would be
brought
way easier
so much light on your character.
with
Wow.
all this like wood and everything like around here. I feel like it'd be way easier to build a pyre
Yeah, no,
and
we're
take a
burning
hole.
them
Do
for
you
sure.
even have shovels? I don't even have a shovel.
That is
Yeah,
absolutely
I
up to
don't
you.
got a
I
shovel.
mean, both is fine. About the boar, we should definitely have a sacrifice. I mean, we could possibly
All right,
talk
so
about.
like, is it just killing it in the name of God, and then
Well,
after that, you know,
what time of the day
happens,
is it
or
right
like
now?
what kind
We
of
woke up and
sacrifice?
we woke up and walked out here. What time of day is
You
it?
walked out. It's been a few hours of actual tracking, but it's still like it's midday.
Esther, it's like noon. Why don't you just see if you could find a couple more boar in the area? We'll eat those.
Fucking son of a bitch! Kick the shit out of the boar and be like, do whatever you need to do with it. Just like walk off into the forest.
I will start gathering up wood to
Just
build
very,
killed it.
very quietly and like under her breath, Kyra, and you don't hear it because you just stomped off. She was like, I was just about to maybe recommend that we could take a little bit of it and still make a little bit of a feast of it and burn the rest as a sacrifice, but sure. So
would that be
you
okay
don't
with you
actually hear it, but
He's
she's
just
like,
in the
Oh.
forest already, just is like fucking,
Yeah.
just like taking some deep breaths and like recentering himself
you
before he
looking
like
for other
stealths off into the
animals?
forest. Yeah, I'm hunting.
Or-
He's
okay.
hunting now.
He's
All
hunting
right.
boar. When do you find some
Nice.
pigs?
Because he also never
Um,
got his question answered. Be like, what kind of sacrifice are you talking about? Because he was kind of trying to like be like, can we
Yeah.
eat some of it at least? And like, but
Mhm.
then they're just like,
Yeah,
yo,
sure.
we got to sacrifice. He's like, fucking
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Nice.
He's
would
got
you
the
like
bad
to, like,
anger
roll a
going.
survival check or something to see if you get lucky? I mean, you on your own are pretty stealthy.
I am helping Soren build like an altar that
Okay.
looks suspiciously like
have squigs help me.
like an
Mhm.
eating platform.
like a dinner table.
Yeah.
Like every time
Okay.
I see him doing that, I read. Sherwin, we're building a pyre, not a. It's not a table. It's a
Well,
pyre.
we had to shed it up on some sort of platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a big square because it's got to burn this down till it's just
So
like
while
nothing
you're
left.
building this,
Oh, yeah.
Esther,
Square.
just pretty much just kind of stomps through first for a few minutes, and you know you're too angry to actually see anything. But after a little bit, if you persist and don't like turn back immediately, you
Coming
will.
back with some yum yums. We got no food.
Yeah, except for the rations that you took, yeah. But yeah, you will hear a little bit. It's quite far off. It's almost like this other big boar, kind of scared of any other wildlife from the immediate vicinity. But if you go a little bit
Does
further,
it sound like as big as this boar?
no.
Something I
You
could take
just
on my own? Because I'm gonna go after
yeah,
it.
yeah. You will find some like smaller, normal sized boars in like a little mud pit. They're just kind of relaxing in there, and you being stealthy, I will let you actually be able to hunt one of them. You will
Yeah,
still make a ruckus with the others, but like there's gonna be some squeaking and squealing that you all hear in the distance, and some stomping around, and you might see one just running by somewhere. But Esther will come back with one of the boars. It's not a big one. It's kind of
I activate my
more
boots
on
of
the
stomping
smaller
on the way
side.
back too, so it's just like
Yeah.
on the way back
Yeah.
with this boar, just super mad, stomping hard in his boots of
Okay.
stomping, and just like resounding fucking sounds coming back in the
Any
forest. As I just
any
come
of the
back and just
wood-
throw this boar on the ground and just like start
Okay.
quietly working on it.
any of
Okay.
the wood that would have been smaller in size that we could have used for like to cook the ours, basically, I would have tossed to the side and set up somewhere over to the side so we could do the pyre and the cook the
Yeah. Okay.
because I believe in Esther. I think he would come back with something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have a pyre ready for, well, I guess the big boar, but also for the human corpses you found.
Yeah, I would ask what is her name again?
Pyra.
Kyra. I will ask Kyra what their practice is. Do we burn the body separately? Should we? Is it okay to put it all in one fire?
That's more or less up to you. It's just with the boar, you should dedicate it to one of the gods and ask for their blessing.
What is? Well, let's see.
What
Sherwin
are the gods?
follows like a creator god. Is there like a all father god, or like a god that's kind of above all the gods, like the original creation god? Is there something like that in your pantheon?
Oh, well, it's just a slight bit complicated, maybe because as you don't seem to know that much about it, but we have this the Lord of Storms. His name is Sidon. There is the Order of Sidon, which is a big influence in the country here. They would absolutely want you to sacrifice this boar to the Lord of Storms, which is not the creator of anything. It's more of a destructive force, really. Is also one of the Titans, and well, there's the thing. You could, of course, also sacrifice this to the Titans, but they already have a pretty strong grip on this, and well, it's a little bit like taking a side, but it's if you don't sacrifice it to Sidon, just be aware that some people might be against that. But of course, there's
Am
others.
I back by now?
Sherwin
You
is
are back. You kind of come in by
Like-
the time that they started to talk about what to.
Why don't we just sacrifice it to the
do with this.
creator?
Well, what if we sacrifice
Sherwin's
it to
like
Lutheria?
Right?
Sherwin's
We wanted to meet
listening
Lutheria.
to this description of this like anti-creator being, and his
Mhm.
his mouth is just like agape. Like
Okay, yeah.
What about Lutheria? What does she represent? Do people sacrifice to her?
She's people say that she's the other Titan. Those were the two Titans. Like Lutheria, and then Lutheria is difficult. She used to be interested in people, I guess you would say, but she ended up helping, of course, the Titan side in smashing down any of the newcomers as they were, back then. It's difficult. It's hard to describe her, really. I mean, nobody knows what they look like, of course. It's all just myths. But she's called the Lady of Dreams. And she's said to be a very beautiful woman. But she's also kind of the lording over the underworld in some ways. And, Lady of Dreams, Lady of Death.
You kind of breezed over that part, but all right.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Sure.
that was definitely not
integral
mentioned
part
earlier
of-
in the description.
no,
Good
because
thing we're
it's not
going with
part
the
of that
Dragon Lord first.
story. The
She's
myth-
really nice. She's
you
sweet.
know.
She's beautiful. She kind of rules hell.
Yeah, that's very. I mean, the first few, I guess, centuries it would be. She was pretty interested and tried to actually study those people that came. So, and she was held in high regard, and that's the part of the myths that I told you earlier. It did change. I mean, maybe partly because her brother, the other Titans, and mainly her brother, were so very much against those new people starting to take over the land. So
now
she
so
did turn.
so let me get this straight. We're gonna take this thing that we already killed, and it
Mhm.
it smells real good, and we're gonna put it on this cooker over here, but we're not gonna eat it after it's cooked. And then we're gonna take this little guy over here, and we're gonna put it on the little stove over here, and we can eat that one, but we can't eat
Oh,
the
yes.
big one, and
No.
and we're gonna give it to the anti-creator.
Yeah, I
You
don't
don't have
like that.
to,
There's
like,
gotta be another
This
god that we
sounds
can.
cannot tell
absolutely
you.
ridiculous.
I mean, there's gotta be
Cannot tell
more
you what
gods
to
than just death
sacrifice
and
this for.
there's gotta be
I
more
mean,
choices, right? It can't just be death
Why don't
and
we just
storm.
sacrifice it to our bellies, which is part of the creator?
I will send tribute to the creator in the form of belly rumble prayers.
What about a god of nature? You don't have other deities. There's just
Oh yes,
What about
there.
dragon gods?
You
Yeah,
asked about
like,
the
have you
Titans.
ever heard of a Stillibor?
okay. What about the actual gods instead, not the Titans?
Well, you asked about the creator of everything. That would also be an actual Titan called Thylea, like this land.
You mentioned that the Titans came first.
You said this land is called Thylea?
Yes, and I wrote it down too. She was like this land is her body. So if you ask for the
I
creator,
like
this
tiptoe.
is absolutely this would be her. Her children might not have been the nicest, but the
hold on.
stories say that she wasn't the problem really. But then there are the gods, of course, and I can tell you some of the gods if you like.
So I'm standing on
We're
somebody's body
thinking
right now.
more- We're thinking more of the creator.
Yes,
of,
we all
like,
do.
This and other worlds and planets and
Yeah, what are the gods? Who is the
there's
head
other
of the-
universes, right?
Sherwin's like on his hands and knees. Can you hear me?
who is the head of the human pantheon then? So the Titans you mentioned were worshipped by
Well,
the
that would be
Fae.
Mitras. Mitras.
Mitras.
Yes. Let me write it down. She's called the goddess of dawn, and she's also called like the goddess of dawn because she's the most friendly of all the gods in a way. She is said to have helped those new people coming in most in saving themselves. She's said to be one that it's the savior god of all of them, that made most contribution towards this fight against the Titans. We also have Vulcan.
Okay.
He's like the god of the forges. He's, as you might expect, more of a warrior.
As
but-
part of the pantheon of forging, would that be creation?
Well, he's
Hello.
creating anything that can be forged, and he's often said to be quite wise as well.
Oh, we forged this stove over here.
What about a dragon deal?
Well, no, not as such. We do have Pythor, which is the god of battles.
Can
He is
I call a quick team meeting? Can I talk to you guys for a second?
poor.
I would absolutely love a team meeting right
Can
now.
I
This
talk
is
to you guys for a
ridiculous.
Okay, guys.
Just Solomon just drops a massive thing of like logs, and just like wipes off sweat.
Yeah.
walks over.
All right, guys. I've been trying to talk to this person that we're standing on, and nobody is talking back to me. I think this lady might be full of baloney.
I'm like, hold on one second. Kira, get in here. Get in here. Doing the team huddle. Get on in.
When I don't know how it is on y'all's world, you'll have to explain that to me. But when on me and Solomon's world, the gods do stuff like they manifest, right? Like either through people having powers or literally sometimes just striking people dead or being like summoned into the world. It's like
Bahamut just goes around just claps cheeks whenever fucking thunder roars.
Well,
they're tangible. They're
What?
tangible. So
Wait a
if the
minute.
gods in this world are like the gods from our world, then we are spitting in the face of
You-
people who could smite us.
you
Like, that
guys
does not
have
sound like
actually-
a great survival plan.
You guys have actually seen a god before?
Well, no,
Oh yeah,
well,
you
I've seen the impact
No.
of gods. There's a
No,
giant
technically.
statue in the city I come from that's like it moved like a few hundred years ago. I mean, I wasn't born then, but there's elves that are around that can tell you about it.
Well,
Yeah,
what-
not
I mean-
technically speaking. I haven't been there when Bahamut clapped, but I've seen the ass that it clapped, and it just lots of destruction. Pretty scary.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Squigs is a gift from my god.
Well, see,
Well-
gods, tangible gods that could do real stuff.
Okay.
for
Wait
us.
a minute. Wait a
But
minute.
he was
wait,
given
wait,
here. I don't understand that.
Wait a minute. You guys are telling me that you guys have seen, like, actually witnessed gods and the stuff that they do?
No,
I've
there's just
witnessed the
mostly
stuff that they do for sure.
Yeah,
I've never
the
seen God physically. with my
aftermath.
eyes.
I've just always kind of blindly prayed, and things were just worked out for me. Well, where I come from, there's not a whole lot of churches and things like that. There's just people don't really pray to the gods like that. It's
You
really
also
just-
worship a real weird god, Sherwood.
Where I come from, there's temples that have fires that have no fuel that just stay lit forever because the god wills it to exist.
Oh yeah, but Bahamut
Okay,
just
well, I
shows
gotta
up.
lie. I
just
can't
to-
lie.
just to
That's like
slap someone.
every building in every city where we're from.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's not like channeled by a spell. It's like a silver fire that just dwells in the hands of a young girl in the temple of Mishra. It's like a whole thing.
Hmm.
Although Bahamut's pretty passive, he'll come around and just smack some ass just to make an impression. I know I'm doing lots of ass smacking talk, but I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. Kara just stands there, being a little bit like nervous almost. Like maybe let's get on with it, but we should definitely make the sacrifice soon. You just decide who to sacrifice it for. You can do the Titans, of course. I told you that the Order of Sidon will be very much against anybody who doesn't sacrifice whatever they kill to Sidon.
Right.
But you
sacrificing
do
the-
technically, of course, have a choice. So it really depends. I can, I don't know.
We
can
could
solve
just
it,
not
right?
sacrifice it, bring it back to the place, cook it, have a big old potluck. Everybody be like, why didn't you sacrifice it? Be like, because we're heroes from another world, suck our dicks.
I say we burn it to Mitros, goddess of the dawn. She sounds nice.
So we're not gonna
But
eat it.
it could be so delicious.
I can't eat an animal sacrifice from some culture. I just can't disrespect them like that. We just met these people. We're already spitting in their face.
Crazy
Oh,
how
hey,
it's kinda-
Kyra, can you go fetch Tom Serena Brady Williams?
Yes. Just a second. And she just kind of goes into the
All right, guys,
forest.
listen. If she keeps this shady stuff up, I'm gonna sacrifice her and I'm gonna eat her. I like Solomon's idea. It's sounding better and better as these things go on.
Nice. All
Well,
right.
I'm just saying
How
we
about
might be
that?
messing with, like, I study magic for a living. We might be messing with forces that we don't understand here. I'm just saying maybe we should go
There's a
along.
whole lot of forces I don't understand, but I do know boar is delicious.
And
True.
we could eat so much boar and not get smote.
But I would have to go get that boar like I did that boar, and
But
that
that-
is ridiculous. We already got that boar. It's
That's what I'm
already
saying.
here, and
We
that's
got
like
the
3
other
of
boar
those
too.
boars.
We already got this other boar.
Exactly.
We did a
We have
lovely
so
job
much more
hunting.
boar than
Let's
we
just
had
eat-
before.
We'll eat that boar. We'll pair it with our rations, and we'll have a feast. We don't need this other boar. It
Son
was
of a bitch,
nasty
I'll
anyway.
tell you that.
It was nasty. Did you see the thing? It already had like wounds. It's
We're
probably half
creating a new
festered.
religion. No sacrifices.
All
I'm
right.
just really hungry,
Following the
guys.
Creator,
will have-
no sacrifices.
You will have you can think about who you want to pick for a sacrifice if you want to if you are going to. You let me know next week which one you want to pick. I'm just gonna,
it's that
I put up
time.
all the
Oh, it
names
is
that
that
you did talk about now. I just at Sidon, and we also talked about Lytheria. I think those
What
are the
was the
ones.
forging one? That was Pythor?
The 4G
True.
one
That was
is
Vulcan.
Vulcan. Yeah, we also talked about him.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna put that one.
Yeah, so many Greek gods.
Like that's as far as you got by the time that like you sent Kyra to get the goat, which she is doing right now.
And the funniest part about that is the goat's probably still on Sullivan's shoulder.
Yeah, well, the thing is that would be the thing. Yeah, like yeah.
I'd say
it's
I
either there,
left it in the tree that she
but
maybe retreated
Yeah,
to.
the goat's just in
but
a
it was
tree
kind
right
of
now.
close to there, so she's she's going there to get the goat. It might have tried to get away, but I think you're still keeping it on a leash. So
Just tied to the tree like fucking 20 feet
yeah,
in the
just
air.
to yeah, exactly. You have some time to figure out which one you want to pick, and if you want to get the whole pantheon out of her, go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. That's immediately what Sora will spend the rest of the evening
He
doing while
will
we're repeating
press you
work.
to like make a decision when she comes back kind of soonish, so you'll not get the big story of any of them, but she can tell you all the names and kind of what their areas are. And I'll give you an overview of those. If you want to say that you want to ask her for those first, I'll give you that. Like
Yeah, no, totally.
write it
Yeah, I
down
would have
and give
continued
it to you.
asking like, what are our options?
Yeah, exactly. So you'll have all the options and you figure out which one you want to pick. If you can't like come to a conclusion that fits everybody's, like if you can't really get yeah, exactly. If Esther's just adamant about it.
I'm just trying to roleplay the character. I'm not trying to be a dick and get in the way of the whole plan.
No,
but
no, I feel
my
you.
whole thing is
No,
like,
it's fine.
I'm role like that's
Also
what I'm
an
saying.
option.
I like me as a person, like fully agree. Like, yeah, we should totally sacrifice this fucking boar.
like one of my personality traits is I would rather observe than meddle. One of my bonds is I want to learn more about a particular humanoid culture that fascinates me. Like I would risk life and limb to discover new culture, unravel the secrets of a dead one. Like I'm just, you know what I mean? It's all about. I'm an anthropologist.
You want to dive in, yeah.
Study cultures and respect them and stuff. So my character's like this the whole time.
Yeah.
All this is sacrilegious to me.
Definitely just wants to
figure
eat
out
this
which-
because he killed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's understandable. It's just gonna be interesting. It's also an option. I'll just put up a list and I'll add don't sacrifice it at all, which, no.
And it's
further
more
info,
for him
just-
is that he said he was going to bring back a giant boar to cook. The lady there was like, yeah, that's dope. Like, let's definitely like cook that up. I'll make sure to get that set up. So
Probably
he
because
has
he
this
didn't
whole
believe you
thing
at
where he
all.
wants to bring this giant boar back to like
prove you
fucking
wrong.
show. He's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, fucking that's what's up. See that right there?
Mhm.
Dead ass boar. I killed that shit. I fucking
Yeah.
told you. Cook that
That makes
shit. I'm gonna
sense.
eat it now. And then
Oh,
you
I
feel
just wanted to bring it back so I could say family reunion.
Wow. Yeah, so
I don't know. I
you'll
can
have
It's a compliment.
all these like you will have all these options. You know that Kyra really wants you to sacrifice it to someone. She's also I'm gonna add who like she said would be kind of mad if you didn't sacrifice it to Sidon.
Well, does she have a favorite? Because wouldn't she have one that she's like emphasizing for?
You can either just make an insight check and see if you can get anything like out of her without asking, or ask her, and then tell me if you want to ask her. Like if you want to directly just ask, what would be your?
Yeah, I mean, I think we would have asked that. Like, well, who would you want us to?
Her
I'm sorry,
answer would probably be something like, well, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a problem if it's not Sidon, because they tend to know when people disrespect their god. But
oh, well, that's too bad
personally,
because we were definitely
I'm a
not gonna
poet.
do
I'm
that.
I'm named after her, so my favorite is Kyra, of course. She's the goddess of music. So that's my favorite, obviously. But I really cannot tell you who to sacrifice this for. I mean, you are not me, obviously. So and she says, yeah. But you did learn that she's named after a god, seemingly.
After Kyra, and then she
Yeah.
also proposed Sidon.
She says that Sidon is the choice that at least one group of people in this country will be very adamant you should sacrifice it to, not her, but like others, and they might know and find out if you don't. So you might, have problems if you don't, but she's not particularly for this one.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'll like make a little bit of a little list for you. So just as an overview, I'll just write it right now and
Yes, thank
then
you.
post it. And yeah, we should just see where this goes next week. And if you don't, like, if you decide to not sacrifice it at all or do something else, just let me know too, because, those are the options somebody gave you, but it's not like you can't have your own ideas.
I got
Sweet.
my own
Appreciate
idea,
you.
and it is a delicious plan.
Just, whatever you decide, it's probably going to have some kind of consequence.
Swords over here like
100%. We're already going to be facing problems no matter what. Not going to make anybody happy. Fuck it. We're creating
All
our
I
own
have is
religion.
over here like
fucking
don't pee.
shield. Yeah.
Swords
So,
over here
like-
like don't pee on the grave. Just like pee somewhere else. Like there's other spots you could pee. You don't have to pee on this grave. But I want to pee on this grave. But we
So I
don't
was like,
have
"Oh,
to pee on this grave.
sorry about that. Oh,
It's already
and, like,
out.
running while
Too
he's
late.
peeing. Oh no! Oh God! No!
It's barbaric.
Oh,
It's barbaric.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna leave you there and just go to work. But I really am very, very excited to find out what you actually decide on. And I'll just still be able to write the list, like, in a few minutes it'll be up on Discord, so you can, have a little bit of a reminder what you just
Heck yeah.
learned. And she'll
Thank you.
give you the whole pantheon plus the titans that she mentioned. It's not that many, but alrighty. Well, thank you very much. That was a very fun little session. I'm happy we all got together again.
Yeah,
I
it
am
was
real
fun.
happy. This is always great.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Pretty much whatever you decide. So I'm open for anything.
We'll
Thank
see.
you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much,
thank
and
you.
I guess see you next week then.
Hell yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good
Yeah.
day.
You have
too.
a good rest of your day.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you all for watching out there in the interwebs. If you liked it, you can listen to the you can watch the old episodes over on our YouTube Dungeon Oasis streams. We're not verified yet, so you do got to search it, but it's there. This is was the Palace of 1,001 Rooms, and one moment, I'm not either, so this is really fun for me. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm doing an outro on Twitch right now, but I'll be right back. Yeah, join us on Discord, and our links on the page, and we hopefully we'll see you in there, and you can play with us and do the stuff. They're just going in my ears right now. It's a lot. Get out of here. Peace out. Take it easy. Let's start a raid, actually. Let's figure out where we should go. Where we gonna go? Oh, Mims is playing D&D. Let's go over there. Off to the Mims.